Let's get out on the edge, if we could, with this first question. No jab, no job. Is that, Michelle, what we are talking about?
Well, it is what we are talking about. I mean, look, I'm going to get the vaccine, but I don't think I can enforce my employees to get the vaccine. That just doesn't seem right, that I could say, you have to put this health thing. Certainly you could restrict access. As early as the 1930s, there was a precedent on these yellow booklets where you had to show to enter a country that you had a yellow fever vaccine. And so I think what employers will be able to do is, they'll be able to say you can't go in this area, you can't do these things if you don't have a vaccine, but actually mandating to do it, I don't know. I think that's pretty sticky territory.
No, Trung, these are private companies. Can't they do what they want to mandate a safe working environment?
No, I think what's going to happen here is similar to post 9/11 with the TSA. There's just going to be an appetite for people accepting that there's going to be more regulation from the corporate and the government side. And you could see a situation where, remember a few years ago, there was the Masterpiece Cake Shop Supreme Court case where basically, this is not identical, but the court was basically determining that, certain limits to what an individual could claim as free speech. If you're a private company and you want your workers to be safe, I think we just all went through this pandemic. A lot of people will be like, yeah, I understand it. You don't necessarily have to agree with it. You can go find another company potentially. And I could see something like this rolling up all the way up to the Supreme Court where an employee is like, no, I'm going to sue you, and I disagree.
Okay, so Bill, is this going to be the next great big battle of the pandemic?
No, I don't think it's going to be a great big battle because I don't think it's happening that often. I think most people are going to get the vaccine and are happy to get the vaccine. There will be people who don't want to get it. And I was talking to a woman who works at a nursing home in Denver who's in her 20s, single mother, didn't want to get the vaccine. She was fired. And obviously that's terrible for her and it's inappropriate. And, she should be able to have a conversation with her employer about her fears about the vaccine without necessarily it ending up with her losing her job. But I think most people are going to come to this voluntarily, that they're going to do it. And most people want this, Scott. They want it pretty badly at this point.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the data does suggest, Bill, that you're right. In fact, in a Pew Research Center poll published on Friday, 69% of U.S. adults said they'd either already had the vaccine or certainly intend to get it. And you can bet, Michelle, that the results of a Yale School of Management survey, executives, they greatly want their employees to get the vaccine. 150 were surveyed. Of course, 78% said yes. Only 22% said no. Corporate America is thinking about this very important question.
Oh, without a question, they are thinking about it. And I think people would love to do this. And maybe Trung's right. This might be part of the TSA. I just don't think, I could mandate my employees to say they have to take a vaccine. I think I could limit their access. I think it would be very hard for saying you have to do this. But I actually don't think this is going to be a problem. I think you're right that people largely want these. People want their lives back to normal. And I think for the vast majority, people are not going to have any problems getting a vaccine. And we can do all sorts of things to encourage, to share the facts on why to do this, to do social proof, to make it all possible for our employees to do this.
Okay, now I'm going to ask another provocative question. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say what might be nice, Scott, is if people who'd gotten 2 doses of the vaccine or the J&J vaccine had some sort of way to identify that they had it, like with the TSA, if you have a TSA pre-check card or wristband or something, so that you can go out to a restaurant and know that people around you will know that you're protected.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these companies should really start rolling out the contact tracing. I know a lot of companies, a lot of governments are talking about that. And that could be something that is very low friction, right? It takes a lot of the way of the conflict of, hey, did you get vaccinated? Did you not get vaccinated? And that can really help on the social proof side, because if you're coming into the office and 90% of your office is vaccinated, and then it's just on this app that you're not, I mean, it's just going to be kind of weird. So the social proof angle of it will be very strong if you can rule out the contact tracing properly.
Let's leave this debate with this last question, Michelle. If you don't want to get a vaccine and your employer says, OK, you can work at home, but we're going to pay you less to do so, is that cool?
I don't think it's cool that an employer could pay you less to work at home, especially if you're doing the same work. I do think it's in an employer's realm to change your pay based on where you are geographically. And we're seeing a lot of big companies do that because the cost of living is just very different. Again, my costs are largely the same if I'm working from home or if I'm going to the office. In fact, I oftentimes if you're in a city like New York or San Francisco, you need more space and better bandwidth in your apartment to work. But I don't think they should be able to pay you less.